Welcome everyone to Escaping Carcosa. So as you all likely know by now, this is a campaign, a game that is split into two campaigns. So for this side of the campaign, I am Michaela, the keeper who will be running the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition version, where our players are playing in Carcosa offline. So our investigators are based in Seattle, Washington. And speaking of, let's meet our lovely new players for this game. We'll go ahead and go around. Everyone can introduce yourselves, where we can find you, and you can tell us briefly about your investigator.
So I'm Jack. I'll be playing Guy Jury. He's a private investigator, or at least that's what he calls himself. He's in his early 50s, so he's been around since now times, since the early 2020s. And he looks older than that. He's about 52, but he looks older because of the grey streaks in his hair. He dresses mostly in mute colours, like grey and in tattered, very worn clothing. He favours a fairly long, like thigh-length jacket and a grey hat. And he specialises in investigating corporations and their various crimes. Companies usually hire him because he has so little credibility that no one will ever believe anything he uncovers is the truth. You can find me at Jack_True on Twitter. That's JAK_True on Twitter. And that's me.
All right, and next we have Tenzin.
Hi, my name is Tenzin. You can find me on Twitter, Tenzin Days, like the days of the week. And I'm playing my character named Mauve. That is their preferred name. They also go by they, them pronouns, and they are a art curator specializing in the occult. And they are pretty pretentious and pretty artistic, so they might not be everyone's cup of tea, but they have pink hair, circular glasses with pink rims. You know, mauve is just their color, basically. They also have a face tattoo that says on the right cheekbone, fake. Don't ask me what that means, we'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, they're just, you know, really into the dark arts.
All right, and FatherMo.
Hi, my name's FatherMo. My pronouns are she or hers, and you can find me on twitch.tv at twitch.tv/FATUMAAAA. Yes, there are 4 A's. I tried finding usernames that didn't have as many A's, and that's the soonest one I found. And also on Twitter at my same Twitch name, so FATUMAAAA. Underscore at the end. I'm going to be playing Noor Rahim, also uses she, her pronouns. She is an investigative journalist. She is 24. She is from New York City. And her kind of job in the real world is being she streams on like whatever the streaming platform is called. I don't know if it's still Twitch. I don't think it would be. She kind of does like gaming news. So she talks about different companies and like kind of things that are happening, kind of being like, just like you're kind of like, overall, like, here's what's happening in the gaming world in 2050. She's 5'4". She has her little fan base that she calls the Neurotics. She wears a hijab. She loves oversized, like, sweaters and, like, wears, like, a tighter black skirt on the bottom because she's like, I can't just be in a entire cloth. I can just be all fabric. And she is incredibly loud and is constantly causing trouble. So I'm excited to see how she plays in this game specifically. Oh, and very importantly, she has very cool tech glasses. Forgot to mention that. She has like bigger framed glasses that almost look like they're too big for her. And they're cool tech glasses. I don't know what the tech is quite yet.
The tech is there.
Great.
The tech is there.
And last but certainly not least, Drea.
Hey, I'm Drea, and my pronouns are they, them. You can find me on Twitter at DreSilvertooth, DREA. And I can usually be found GMing the Pathfinder actual play podcast Bad Heroes. But today I will be playing Fable. Fable's pronouns are she, they, and Fable is a 26-year-old penetration tester, a job title I'm sure we will all have a fun time laughing about. And as a pen tester, Fable is hired by companies to try to circumvent their physical and digital security and then bring those vulnerabilities to the company's attention. Fable is 5'8", feminine and slim, and has yellow contact lenses and hair that fades from blue to purple. They have a tattoo of a lynx on their right forearm and a big kind of cyberpunk abstract tattoo on their back. Fable lives with her partner and their kitty cat, Alistair.
we come into this Seattle, Washington. It is currently 2050, so Seattle, Washington has advanced a good bit. There's new technology, a lot more buildings, a lot more videoscapes everywhere, right? So you see a lot of TV screens placard against buildings, things like that. The general lifestyle in Seattle overall, as far as, wellness goes for everyone and like civil liberties, things like that, things are good. But unfortunately, we have not done a good job of taking care of the planet itself. So on that scope of things, it doesn't look too great. And we look to our investigators for this game. And if everyone wants to tell me, what does your day-to-day look like in 2050 Seattle? Some of you might be at home, some of you might be at work, that sort of thing. You just want to kind of tell me what you're doing right now.
Mauve is their preferred name, and they are at work. It is early morning, and they like to get in early in terms of making sure to open up the gallery, dusting off whatever, is collecting dust, and making sure frames are in a proper position, and getting the brochures out in the front, and just getting their scripting ready for all of the pieces and knowing what to say about them. So, the goal is to, sell these works of art and to make sure that people believe the words that they're saying when it comes to historical facts or what the artist felt or thought in the process of the creation, or just basically learning to bullshit most of it. They have a tall black mug full of just black coffee, and that's just how they start their day.
Very nice, yeah. So, Mauve, are these works of art, are they sold in kind of like a auction style manner, or are they sold to private buyers, that sort of thing? You tell me.
When they are sold, you just put like a little red sticker near the frame, and to mention that they're sold. And it's sort of like a silent auction, not everybody will be like, 500 or like, 2,000. It's not like a loud and about process. It's very discreet. And some pieces are very scandalous, so we don't want exactly everybody knowing who is purchasing what. It is not a very PG-13 gallery, that's for sure.
So it's more of a private affair.
Exactly, yeah, like very exclusive, very, mysterious, just dark.
Gotcha. So as you are starting your day at work, you're getting these items ready for your mostly private buyers. You have someone who is walking down the hallway towards the particular part that you are in charge of, and you hear the clicking of their shoes against the tile floor. And you see them from the distance wave a hand at you, and they go, "Mauve, are you getting things ready as I instructed?"
Oh, of course I am. I'm just having, everything put in place. We're gonna make sure everything looks spotless. And yeah, I'm doing it. I'm ready. Great,
yes. We're gonna have probably a bit of a smaller turnout today, especially with our younger crowd. There is a new game coming out, Carcosa Online, and from what I see, it is gaining quite the traction already. So if things do seem a little bit less excitable in here, that is no fault of your own. Just be aware, and work your charm like you always do.
Oh, how sweet of you to think of me. I'm not worried at all. I'm brilliant at what I do, and regardless of if we have 2 people in the audience or 20, we are gonna sell these pieces.
Great. Well, I look forward to it. I will be back soon. I have, many other administratively duties that I've got to take care of, but I will be popping back in soon. I reckon that things will go great.
Yes, see you soon. Mwah.
With that, he gives you a little toodaloo. And you know this as Xavier. He is the administrator of the museum that you work at, which happens to be the Burke Museum of Natural History and Culture in Seattle. So then we look towards one of our other investigators, Guy. What is Guy doing?
How early is it right now?
It is probably about 11 a.m.
At about 11 a.m., there's a loud beeping can be heard from the inside of a storage container, away from the hustle and bustle of most of the city, probably. And just followed by a grumble of just, fuck off, fuck, fine, okay, I understand, phone, I understand. And then the beeping stops, and Guy wakes up on the ground, as usual, inside his storage container next to the fairly well-kept mattress that is usually made, because he very rarely manages to get into it of an evening. Guy pushes himself slowly to his feet, feeling his knees and his elbows aching. Once again, remembers to attach his prosthetic thumb, which is usually strewn somewhere along the floor, and uses it to light his first cigarette of the day, which was probably already in his mouth and half smoked from the night before. He stands, shakes his head, and pats himself down until he finds what he was looking for, which is a small slug that is stuck to the back of his neck, and he peels it off, looks at it disgustedly, considers for a moment what to do with it, and then just drops it on the ground and tries to forget it happened. No one's seen it. Didn't happen. No one's ever seen it but me. It's not real. Okay, let's go. And he goes to the front of the storage container, pulls up the grate, and greets the bright light in a very disgruntled manner, and just stares at the sun for maybe up to a minute before his eyes adjust. And he just walks out. He pulls on his jacket and his hat, which he'll take out from the corner of the storage container, which is just full of a whole bunch of old junk from the early 2020s. He's got a PS5 in there, a ukulele with half the strings missing. Just lots of bits and pieces from his past that he's managed to collect over time. And he heads out into the alleyway, wanders down the street looking for something to investigate. Probably he's going to head his way over to Mauve's gallery eventually, because that's usually where he ends up on his walks, but it could be a few hours until then. There's something nagging at the back of his mind today. It feels like something important is going to happen right now.
I think as you opened, your storage unit to welcome the bright light inside and take your stroll down the road, I imagine that there is a rather large collection of slugs and snails kind of lined up right at the barrier of this storage space. So, if you creeped their way in and you thought that was the end all be all for the day, but no, unfortunately there were many more waiting to greet you just as the sun did.
And they definitely rain down, and a few of them land on his hat and would stick.
Oh no!
from above as he gets out of the storage unit.
You're heading down. You said you are heading likely in the general direction of Mauve's gallery, this museum that they work at. And along the way, do you generally stay in an area where, I know that Guy doesn't particularly like technology, but do you also try to stay away from it in your day-to-day? Are you walking by stores that by any chance have TVs, in the windows playing the news or the like, or anything like that?
He spends at least part of his day every day staring at technology angrily, trying to figure it out. So he might stand in front of a billboard as things play across it, and just look at it, narrow his eyes, and just get in people's way in the street, refuse to move for anyone.
You take this time out of your day to angrily scorn at technology and see if you can figure it out any. It doesn't really seem any clearer, but you do notice playing in some of the windows and on the billboards, there is a banner going across a lot of the screens saying, Carcosa Online, officially live today. You know what? We will do our first roll, I think, of the game. If you want to give me a luck roll.
Cool. My luck is currently at 60. 18.
Nice. Yeah, so that's going to be a great success. While you're scanning this technology, generally technology isn't too kind to you, so you don't pay it too much mind. You look at the images flicker over the screens as you usually would, and then go about your day. Except this time, you notice that on one of those screens that is talking about the game, you see that there is going to be a guest speaker, PR, as a matter of fact, for Nostradamus, the ones who have developed this VR MMO. And the speaker who is working at the PR event is Victoria Highland.
Did you say where this PR event is?
It has not mentioned where the PR event is, but I imagine if you stand there long enough, or you go inside where you can actually hear the audio, or, find one of the screens with the various subtitles and take your pick, you'll be able to figure out where it's happening.
So I think as soon as he sees that name, he will. It even causes him to spit out his now almost smoked cigarette and throw it on the ground, and he will instinctively sort of like try and straighten himself up a bit, like slicks his hair back underneath his hat, puts the hat back on, notices a slug, flicks it away, and heads into the into this building that's selling TVs, I suppose, and see if he can find out where this is happening, either to go there or to avoid it. He hasn't decided yet which he wants to do. He's just going to sit and listen for a bit. He'll fully sit crisscross applesauce on the ground, waiting for the report to play again, in the doorway, refusing to let anyone passing by.
As you're sitting there in the doorway, it's about to pop up again where this PR event is taking place, and we shift over to Fable.
Fable is at work with their best friend Gail Woods, the founder of Cipher Systems penetration testing, breaking into a building.
Do you have kind of like an idea of the building that you're breaking into, or the job they've got you on? Like, what does it look like when you all go and you break into a building, you're doing this pen testing for a company?
I think the first thing they do is the digital pen test, and I think they've already done that. So I think they have already broken past the digital security and maybe popped in like a harmless virus just to prove that they can. So I think people at this company are getting emails that they shouldn't be getting because they've put them there. And I think the next step is proving that they can actually get into the building. I think the building is a bank, and I think there is an apartment complex next to the bank. And I think Gail is on the phone with Fable, and Fable is on the roof of the apartment building next door.
So this is, you've had your fair share of doing these types of jobs, but for whatever reason, it seems like this job has kind of been taking a bit longer for the day. You were hoping to wrap up your day a bit earlier. You know that your partner's at home waiting to play Carcosa Online with you, but it seems like you might be stuck here for just a little bit. It is a bank after all, so while you are there to test their security, it is probably going to be a little bit more fortified than some of the other places that you generally do your testing at are.
Gail, this is not the small job you advertised to me this morning, my dude.
Listen, I don't make the rules. Well,
you absolutely make the rules. You own the company.
I guess I do. You're right. Listen, I'm sorry. I know. I'm doing my best here. I wasn't really privy to exactly what would be going on here, and I guess I just bit off more than I could chew for the day.
Yeah, all right. You're a punk. Let me text Ryan. Hang on.
All right. I appreciate you, right? You're one of the best ones I've got here.
You are gonna buy me so much beer later. All right. And I think she puts her phone on mute and texts Ryan, "I'm really sorry, baby. I got held up at work. I know you are dying to play Carcosa."
And you get a ping in your text pretty much immediately back from Sunflower in your phone. And it says,
any clue how long you're going to be? They say the servers are filling up quickly.
It might be another hour. Go ahead and start without me. I don't want you to miss out.
Well, if I have your permission, a winked and tongue sticking out face emoji, and I promise not to get too far ahead of you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I know how you can get sucked into games.
I mean, I have a feeling that there'll be a lot of just waiting around. You know how all of these launches go, everyone trying to do the same quests at the same time.
No worries, babe. I'll grab Thai food on the way home. I love you.
That will pull me out of the game for sure. Winky emoji. I love you too, and heart emoji.
And with that, Gale immediately grabs your attention. Like, all right, come on. We'll get you home as quick as we can. Let's finish this job.
Yeah, alright, okay. So, alright, what's the inside like? Cameras, obviously, locks, naturally. I got the physical ones, you pop the digital ones, usual thing?
Yeah, I think that'll work for me.
Okay. I think, and she pulls up binoculars and takes a closer look. I think I can get in on the roof. It's a short jump, and the lock on the roof side door looks mechanical, not digital. There's a camera, though. Can you see it?
Yeah, I've got my sights on it.
Fable stands up and pulls a hood over her head and pulls a mask over her face. The mask has LEDs, like blue LEDs in the shape of animal teeth. She pulls the hood down low enough that hopefully the facial recognition software that usually works will have trouble detecting her as a face. She walks up to the edge of the apartment building and she jumps.
I was thinking about making you roll for it, but I think,
roll.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and roll for it?
If I roll bad, I die. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Okay, I got a 34.
Just shy of a little bit better than just a basic success, but you definitely make the jump. You're well aware of how to do these jobs. You do parkour in your free time. You do parkour during work. Jumping is no big deal to you. And you make your jump.
They do a little roll when they land to make it a little easier on their knees, and they approach that roofside door and pull out a lockpick. It's a mechanical old lock. That's probably the oldest part of the building. After a little while, they manage to pop it open.
With that, you and Gale, you work on the job. You do what you're supposed to do, and you continue to work your way through this pen testing job as we look over to our final investigator, Noor.
Greetings there, travelers. It's me, Wingover Gimble, famous name Bad, and I'm just hanging out here in my brand new inn. You're all probably wondering, wait a minute, Wingover, when I listened to the previous campaign, which I totally did, didn't your inn get done blown up? Well, yes, there was a giant aberration in the sky and it consumed 95% of the planet, but that doesn't matter. Don't even worry about a thing like that. We have a brand new inn, the Inn of the Seven Dice, and it travels wherever I need to go. It's incredibly convenient for a story purpose. So things have been a little bit crazy. I haven't heard from the innkeeper Michaël in quite some time, but hopefully things are okay. Once I got over my concussion, I started feeling really good. All I needed to do was sleep for quite a while. I think I lost a month or two, but I think it's fine. For those who don't know me, I am Wingover Gimble, famous name Bad, and I'm just here to tell you the wonderful story, this new story, Escaping Carcosa. Now this tale, as you've already seen, is taking place with two different groups of heroes. And right now we are in Seattle. This is a strange land of 2050, and to give a little bit of a backdrop, the land of 2050 Earth times is good and bad. The environment has received a good, hefty punch to the gut, and we're kind of at the spot where there's no turning back. You can slow it down, but we're gonna hit that day after tomorrow moment before you even know it. Everyone's just kind of freaking out, so a lot of society has been focusing on two things. One, space travel. Gotta get up there, find some new cool planets. And two, entertainment. Because humans go a little nutty when they get very bored and they start doing absolutely terrible things. So, gotta keep them entertained. Thus, Carcosa Online. So yeah, there's a good reason for why Carcosa Online came about. humanity trying to figure out how do we not be super bored in space. Alright, travelers, now that we know a little bit about Seattle 2050, I just want to tell you, if you want to help support the show, you can head on over to the iTunes or the Spotify and leave us a wonderful review there. 5 stars, of course, help appease the gods of the algorithm and their dark and terrible ways. Anything less angers them and they cast us out into the void of podcastery. Also, we have a Patreon. So head on over to our Patreon. It's pay what you want, with I think $1 as the minimum. And we have all sorts of things on there. Audio dramas, one-shots, updates from behind the scenes, artwork, all sorts of cool stuff, and all the money goes to helping with maintenance, upgrading equipment, and all the labor that goes in behind creating these wonderful shows. So check out our Patreon. Alright, travelers, I got one of those reviews, a little piece of fan mail here. Let's see. It says, "Good podcast, 5 stars." Let's see here. It is a very good podcast by Yellowneemdad from Switzerland. Well, if any of you can pronounce this name better than me, by all means, let me know. How's it spelled, Mauve? Jellenydmmddo with the 2 little dots above it, L and D. If you can pronounce that better, you know what? Send us the first few people to send us an audio clip will send you something. So go ahead and show us your pronunciation skills, because just a gnome bard. Alright, travelers, I was gifted a wonderful little radio contraption from a strange metallic person named ST3V3. And the good news is, I got it, when I say gift, it was just a heavy, heavy sale. Only 10 gold. And it brings all sorts of wonderful transmissions. And the best news is, it's only slightly cursed. That is the best kind of sale. Alright, let's see what kind of things it will show us. Just gonna turn it on here.
Hey, I'm Drea Silvertooth, and I'm a GM. You should absolutely come listen to our podcast, because I have the best heroes. They're hunting curses for the Queen of Vyre, and it's going great.
I got 5 hit points.
I have a plan.
Is it to write my eulogy?
They make really good choices.
Oh God, why did I do that?
It's all according to plan. Textbook success.
She did fall 45 feet in full armor, though.
Well,
Fine. They are bad heroes. I have 4 very bad heroes on my podcast. But they are hilarious. Come check us out at badheroescast.com or find Bad Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, that was pretty neat. I guess that's the kind of joy you get when you have slightly cursed utilities. Well, travelers, I must be off. Let us go enjoy the rest of this tale. I bid you all adieu.
We look over to our final investigator, Noor.
Okay, so if it's 11 a.m., I think Noor actually just started streaming for the day. I think you picked the perfect time. If you to like 8, I'm like, she's passed out. So I think she quite literally, she always goes live 5 minutes before the hour so that people can like come in and like say hi to each other and just like talk. And then right at the hour, she's like on camera and is like, yo, what's up? So I think she's like actively on screen right now, being like saying hi to everyone.
Tell us what like your streaming setup looks like, right? Like, and how do you interact with your community as a streamer?
Her like background, it's not super decorated. She has definitely like the LED, like the RGB like strip lights in her room, and I think they're set to like a purpley blue color right now. She has some like plants in the background. She definitely has like a lot of posters on the background of like different games that she's loved playing. There's definitely like a pile in the corner that she tried to hide that is definitely on camera of clothes she hasn't folded in like about 2 days that she meant to do, just like had it pushed off because she is like 24. And she has like Like, she's been streaming for like 2 years now, so she has a pretty nice setup. She has a pretty nice microphone. It feels professional without being like overly intimidating. She herself is just like looks like, honestly, she kind of just got up. Her voice is still a little like scraggly. She's like, I definitely didn't just wake up, you guys, I swear. And I think she like starts the stream and is like, good morning, my neurotics. I hope y'all have stayed hungry. I cannot wait to share all this news that I have with you all. But let's catch up. How have y'all been? How are your days? How are your nights? Let me know how you're doing.
And you're pretty, like, a fairly prominent streamer, right? Like, you have a fairly large following, yeah. So I think your chat is, like, popping off right now. And you're used to this, right? Your mod's got it under control. Make sure nothing weird is coming through. They put it on slow mode for you. But it does seem a little bit faster than normal. Like, there's more people in the chat, more people talking, more people ramping up. And you're scanning your chat, and you see over and over and over again people talking about, I'm going to play Carcosa Online. I'm going to try out Carcosa Online. My Carcosa Online VR set just got delivered. And you are familiar, of course, with Carcosa Online as a streamer and someone who plays video games. You've, of course, heard of it.
She, like, sees all the chats in the comments. She's like, y'all, listen, I know that I said I'd have a lot of things we're talking about today, but we're really just going to talk about Carcosa Online because it's, like, going to be released today. Though Nostradamus is, like, we obviously have thoughts about the company. You know this. You all know this. Like, we've had this conversation before. It's not the first time we've talked about this. But it is really cool that they have this new game that's coming out. It is... I'm assuming that I've never seen anything like this before. The fact that you can actually, like, the headsets, I think it's really cool. I think it's super interactive. I'm excited to see how well it actually goes, given their previous gaming history, and just, I am skeptical, though I can say that my headset is not here. So I did pre-order one. So maybe there are some weird connections there with the fact that I have spoken out and I'm not getting it. You know, not to get political. That's a lie. I always get political. You all know this. But you know what? We're going to have some thoughts, and hopefully I'll get to actually... Well, I hope that y'all who are playing it, who actually got your headsets, have fun. But just be careful. Be safe. Y'all know the rules. Whatever happens, you got to let me know. Like, tweet at me. Let me know. Slide into my DMs. Literally, I want to know everything.
As you are talking about this, you get raided. Right? You get an incoming raid onto your Twitch channel, and it's not someone that you recognize, not someone like in your stream team or anything like that. There's maybe like a newer member of the community or someone who just like randomly popped in and raided you, and they heard what they kind of came in as you were talking about this, and they're like, oh, well, that sucks. Like, everyone should be able to play, and everyone's encouraging you to, call the store that you ordered the set from and see if they can track it down or anything like that, so you can get your game, because you should be able to play the game too.
So she sees the raid and she's like, welcome in, raiders. I hope y'all had a great stream. Whoever the streamer was, I can't see the name right now. Chat is kind of moving really fast, as it typically does, but I hope y'all had a great stream. I hope y'all had the most fun time. We are currently talking about Carcosa Online and how I didn't get my headset, and I see a lot of you happen to have heard that, and I promise you, I will send out emails. Y'all know, I was like, let me just wait till the actual day, but I guarantee you, we will try our best to get it, because y'all know that I love a good story, I love a good scoop, I love being the first one to get to things, so we are going to try our hardest, do not worry.
Mauve, do you have any familiarity with Noor at all, and their streaming?
Well, Mauve is more of the visual arts and not so much of the video games. Maybe not, like they like the still art form,
yeah,
as compared to a moving one, unless it's live. So yeah, it's they have heard about the streamer Noor here and there, but nothing of substance that they have latched onto.
Mauve, you were taking a break for a bit there.
Mm-hmm.
And generally it's not the type of media that you really consume, but you were a little bored, and there are streamers out there who stream, in the arts category, or talk about like history and anthropology and those things. you happen to be on the streamer's channel who combines the aspects of video game playing with the aspects of history, right? So they talk about the historical nuances in video games and things like that. And you just kind of wanted some background noise while you were getting your exhibit set up, that sort of thing. And you happen to get raided into Noor's channel as they finished up their stream. You hear them talking about this online game. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Like, I just heard this from the administrator. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing of too much interest to Mauve, but they're willing to listen and see what's so exciting about this.
I will say, Noor's probably incredibly loud, like so much louder than the person you were currently listening to before.
Oh my God.
Like, I am blasting through your speakers as I'm yelling into my microphone, essentially.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn down that volume a little bit.
Yeah, so you kind of have it up as background noise as Noor is streaming. You're listening in here and there, getting a little bit more information about the game than you probably generally would have had. It's not really something that interests you. As you do this, Noor, what kind of topics are you covering about the game right now? Are you still kind of like going into it with Nostradamus and primarily focusing on that, or?
Noor knows her audience, knows that everyone's talking about it. I think what she's doing is probably like prepare like a little like lesson or something. Like, he has like a plan. She's gonna be like, here are games that are kind of similar to what Nostradamus has put out. Here are reasons too, from what I've heard from just like leaks and things that are definitely on the internet somewhere. Like, here are things about the game that like could be cool, things to be wary about. I think she does give the little plug, like, hey, here's like a list of things that you might not approve of Nostradamus like itself about the company. Like, you know, like maybe they aren't treating their workers really well. Maybe they're not the most diverse company, and they're not really good about hiring people who don't fit like kind of like quote unquote standard game dev. So I think that she's definitely like, it's really cool, but like, have you considered like all this stuff? So kind of trying to be like it's a cool game. Get it if you think you'd enjoy it. I got the headset, but also just like be conscious of what you're supporting when getting. So she's not like digging into them. It's kind of just like, remember that thing we talked about, that other thing, and that other. Yeah. So she's like kind of doing like a little history lesson on similar games and like a little history lesson on like Nostradamus and like kind of reasons to consider maybe not supporting the company necessarily, even though she herself is like getting the headset just out of like pure curiosity because she's like, this is cool, but there are better things that you also could be spending your money on.
I think at that, Mauve, you hear the company's name, which you did not realize were the ones producing this game, since you're not really tuned into that sort of thing. And the name Nostradamus rings a bell, and it's very likely that in Guy's ramblings or when, you know, he's come to bother you, he may have mentioned Nostradamus in passing.
Yes, and Mauve is also like, well, if you're not supporting them, then why do you have the headset? Like, Mauve is just like, ugh, what a hypocrite. Like, these people, the youth today, they're so obsessed with their video games and their capitalist propaganda, but yet they consume it so vigorously, and they're like, oh, but I'm different, but I'm also not. Anyways, so Mauve is just like trying to think about that word Nostradamus, and is like, oh, wait a second, I think Guy mentioned something about that. I guess I'll ask later when he stops by on his regular visit, when he annoys the crap out of me.
As you say this, we shift back to Guy, who's been seated in front of this TV waiting for them to announce the location. They keep just talking about the game, talking about, you know, different aspects of what they put into the game and the creation process and how excited they are for everyone to play. And finally, at the bottom, you see that there's going to be a PR event at the MOPOP Museum. So it's the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle.
Okay.
When he sees that, he snaps a photo of that on his Google Pixel 6. and puts that away in his pocket. And then before he leaves, he's seen these things enough, these holographic TVs enough to know that he can't like put a foot through them like he could with an old TV. So instead, he like searches for the projector and just tries his best to smudge some grime over the lens before he leaves this TV store.
I say you're able to kick up some grime pretty easily. You're still, kind of walking down the roads. There's little bits of stagnant water and dirt. It rains, fairly often. Even on the off chance here and there, there's definitely some pretty gnarly acid rain. So you take that and you smudge it on the TV and you walk away disgruntled.
Yeah, I imagine he just scrapes away something from the bottom of his shoe.
Nice.
Puts it on the lens to stop the TV signal being as clear for everyone else, and then puts out his new cigarette that he lit while he was in there. Puts it out on the carpet, and then walks out of the shop and heads to Mauve's gallery, probably to get an ally in this quest that he's now determined to at least go on. So he's heard the name of this game over and over on the same broadcast, probably, if that's what Victoria is going to be talking about. And the person he always goes to that will at least listen to his ramblings is Mauve. So that's where he's going to head.
Well, I mean, Mauve is usually stuck listening because Mauve is usually at work, so there's really no place to escape.
So you're making your way over to Mauve's gallery, and you're making pretty good time. You're pretty flustered at this point after seeing those reports on the television, so I think your pace is probably a little bit quicker than usual. You stop outside of Mauve's gallery. How do you just strut right on in to go see them, or?
I think he heads in. Again, a brand new cigarette, fully lit. Waits until he's inside to light it. Clicks his fingers to light the prosthetic lighter. Goes inside. Ignores the receptionist, who probably tries to stop him.
Taps at the no smoking sign right next to the
guy. Taps at his forehead with a middle finger. and walks in and runs up the stairs to wherever the gallery is. You probably see the cloud of smoke before you see Guy as he sort of like walks in and just stands at you. I would describe it. So he just sort of stands directly in front of you, stares at you, and sort of waits for you to say something, as if in the past you've sort of like scolded him for like walking in and just starting to talk to you. Instead, just walks in, stands, and waits.
Well, Mauve already has an ashtray ready to have that cigarette be put out, because we have done this song and dance many times. So they hold it out and like, put it out right now.
Fine.
If you want to talk, you will have to put it out.
Fine. I know.
Okay, good.
Let's do it. Yeah, puts it out.
Okay.
Do you know where this place is? And he shows you the photo, where you can see if you look very closely of this photo of a holographic TV screen, you can see the subtitle that says Vicky is going to be at the PR event at the MOPOP Museum, Victoria Highland.
Of course I know where this place is. I know all of the museums and the fucking art galleries. What about it?
She is Nostradamus, and you know how I feel about them. And apparently, this is the first time hearing of it, but they're releasing a new game today or something, and it seems to be quite popular. Everyone in the street, I've heard they're talking about it, and they don't seem terrified in the slightest, which is wrong. They should be scared, because it's Nostradamus, and because it's Victoria Highland.
Oh, you know what? I did actually hear about that. What was it called?
Carcosa Online.
Yes. That's what it was called. So what? It's just a video game. I mean, there are plenty of video games out there.
This is Nostradamus. It's never going to be just a video game. At the very least, it's going to be some sort of spy software. It's probably going to do some sort of mind control. There's probably space paraphernalia in there that's going to mess up people's brains.
Okay, let's take a stroll through the gallery. Let's look at some pieces of artwork and just de-stress a little bit. You're already way up here early in this morning. I can't deal with that right now.
Fine. We'll sit. We'll look at some of your shit art, and we'll talk about it.
How? It is not shit art, okay? And it's not my art. This is done by like geniuses. You can't call it shit. You know what? No.
That's my
I'm
artistic
not gonna
opinion.
let this.
They can't take it. They should have drawn something good.
Your artistic opinion, you say. Okay. Ignore that. Let's take a stroll.
You all go on your merry way, taking a stroll through the gallery, and you listen to the ramblings of Guy, and you both, go back and forth about how shit the art is and how shit technology is and all that good stuff. And
all that good shit.
It's just a very angry morning already.
Yeah.
And we go back to Fable. Fable, who is hopefully now wrapping up this job. It didn't take quite as long as you two thought it would. It still took longer than you wanted it to, but you are probably the best ones in the company and you work really well as a team. So things got wrapped up a little bit quicker than anticipated.
I think Fable left little note cards that they keep in their pocket that says Cipher Systems was here with a smiley face in a bunch of high security areas and taped them to the computer monitors and put them under keyboards. I think her next stop is also Mauve's place. I think she knows she's supposed to pick up Thai food and she wants Mauve to pay.
Nice. You are heading in that general direction, and lucky for you too, there's a Thai place not too far down the road from Mauve's exhibit, which is probably why you decided that you were going to also bug Mauve to pay for it, because you're like, well, it's already there, why not?
And I'm already late. I'm already very late, so I might as well.
Yeah, you've already, given the go-ahead to your girlfriend that you could go ahead, play the game, do your thing, you'll be there eventually with Thai food. So in the meantime, you're gonna get the most out of your day and go bug your friend.
Friend, we say.
Yes, frenemy. And as you are walking, are you parkouring perhaps, or do you?
I think they walk when they're not at work.
Yeah, that's fair. This bank isn't too far from the museum that Mauve works at, but it does take you a little bit to get there. And along the way, you are just teased by the commercials and the announcements of Carcosa Online, and just tugging at your heartstrings because you also want to be home playing this game. In your free time, you are someone who enjoys video games a good bit, and especially this game you wanted to play together. So you're just seeing like different announcements. You see mention of the like PR gig as well at the MOPOP Museum, that sort of thing.
Okay. I think Fable has like a season pass to the art museum that Fable hit Mauve up for.
Nice.
So I think Fable comes in illegally, but also for free. Finds Guy and Mauve. What are you two doing?
Well, we're already arguing about the most recent piece of art in front of us. It's a giant framed artwork. There's a splattered red dot in the middle, and around it is a brownish tinted, a larger splatter. And then around that splatter, it says, like, endless synchronicity. and we're just arguing about that piece.
I think Guy probably sees Fable coming up the stairs, and the relief in his eyes when when he sees them. Fable, you've rescued us. Thank God. This is a shit piece of art, right?
You know my policy on taking a stand on shit versus non-shit piece of art between you two, but I will say this does look like a very zoomed-in piece of wall in a room someone was killed in, and then someone just wrote on the side, make it look deep. But maybe that's art. I don't know.
That is the art. That is part of it. You are supposed to think about a serial killer. You are supposed to think about life and death and murder. That is the point of this piece. That is what the artist statement says right there if you look in the little white box under the frame.
Pretty sure this is on the side of a cubicle in the local toilet.
Hey, Guy, how's it going?
You call every piece of art shit. It's like every description that comes out of your mouth has to do with poop.
Technically, I said it was a murder scene. I didn't say anything about shit. Guy, did you find Atlantis yet?
No, but I'm close. We'll get there next time.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I've rented a boat. I'm going to go out there. We're going to find out. Definitively for the first time, officially. But that's not important right now. What do you know about Carcosa Online?
I'm absolutely going to play it in about an hour, but first, Mauve, are you ready to pay up?
Don't, you'll probably die.
Yeah, that's okay. You say that about everything. You said that about cell phones. Mauve, are you ready to pay up?
Tell me more about Carcosa Online.
No.
I would love to hear it. Tell me, Guy.
Where is
Tell
my
me
money,
more
Mauve?
about Carcosa Online.
Oh.
Oh, you know, let's look at that other
You
piece
said
over there.
this month, and it's this month.
Well, I said end of the month, so it's technically middle of the month, so we still have a bit of time.
Okay, well,
as you all are going back and forth on this, Fable, you're like, oh, come on, I don't want to play for the Thai food today. Guy is still reminiscing on the idea of, Atlantis, but is like, no, we have to focus on the more important matter at hand. We go back to Noor briefly. It's now like midday. You're hitting that like lull kind of, right? Where you're getting a little bit tired. You're like, all right, you stream pretty regularly, but you sometimes take breaks in between and then come back to the stream later in the day. So you're like, I think it's time to go get my midday coffee, right? And there is a coffee shop not too far from you. There's actually two side by side. They are separated in the middle by a cute little Thai food place. And you always have a really fun time trying to choose which one you want to go to, because one of them is Parker's Perkers and the other one is Joe's Joe. And they have a very fond sibling rivalry as they're two brothers who opened up a coffee shop, each one of them individually, with a little Thai place in between. Which shop do you choose to visit today for your coffee?
I feel like if Noor is like known to go to these coffee shops, she like hops into Joe's and is like, yo, why should I buy coffee from you today and not your brother?
Fight for my business.
Yeah, like I feel like it's like a known thing. Like I go there so often. I'm like, they're like, it's you're casual. Like you're here. They're like, who's gonna
Arm
win
wrestle.
today? Like what is the scoop? Yeah, literally like arm wrestle. Like give me a reason.
And then do you just take a stroll there as well? It's probably a few miles out of your way, but not too bad.
Yeah. Noor probably like ended stream was like, y'all, listen, we tried calling Nostradamus on stream. They didn't pick up. They kept just like pinging me between. It was a whole issue. We tried it. Y'all said to call them, and I did. I failed because of you. First of all, chat, this is your fault. Second of all, I hope that everyone who got the headset and who's gonna play the game later today has an absolute blast. Again, be careful, right? Just want to make sure we're being safe in general. But also, y'all, I'm gonna go get my coffee because I've only had 2 cups today. And I'm exhausted. I need another one, so I'm gonna go. Y'all, make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're taking care of yourself. More importantly, stay hungry and stay steady, and I'll see y'all next time. And then she like ends it, and then she like lays on her bed for like 10 minutes. It's like, oh my god, so many people, like so many raids. And I think she takes the bus actually to the coffee shop. I think she like knows when the buses like come and go, so she just hops on the metro, has her Orca card, just kind of taps it, is like chilling, kind of like has like her headphones on, listening to some music probably. And she pops into Joe's and is like, yo, what's up? Coffee? Why your coffee?
So you pop into Joe's shop first, and Joe's like,
Yeah.
yo, Noor, what's good?
What's up?
Like, you come to buy my coffee today? I'm your favorite coffee person, right? Right?
Well, you gotta tell me why you gotta be my favorite
Oh,
today.
gosh.
Last time I went to your brother's, remember?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's my turn. You gotta share the love if you're gonna go to both of our stores.
You're not wrong, but I feel like it's only fair if your brother is also here for this conversation. So, like, before I head over there, you need to give me a really compelling point.
Wait, what?
I think he's beating
My
you by 2
brother
right now.
doesn't need to be here. You know he's a total bummer. I'm the cool one, right? It's a cool day. Carcosa Online is coming out. You want to be in the cool coffee shop. you don't want to be in the classical music coffee shop. No, you want the good jams and the good vibes.
You know what? That is a very compelling point. You do know how to make my iced macchiato better than he does. So I'll actually, I'll get your coffee. I'll do what you. Yeah. We'll do you today, and then I'll pop in and tell him that he lost, just for you. Only for you though, this one time.
Cool. Are you gonna like pop in now, or are you gonna hang out for a little bit?
I just finished stream. So what I'll do is you'll make my coffee.
Great.
As you're making it, I'll go over to Abe's and be like, "You lost. I'm gonna go hang out with your brother because he won today." And then I'm gonna probably sit here and I'm gonna come back to you, get my coffee, and we're gonna sit and chill for a little bit, probably in my little corner. Like breathing. A lot of stuff to talk about today on stream.
Very cool. Yeah. So Joe's making your iced coffee, and as he's preparing it for you, just making small talk, talking about the game. Mentions, did you see that PR stunt they're gonna be pulling? That's pretty interesting. It must be pretty big if they're gonna have a whole, shindig for it or whatever.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. Twitter's still a thing. We'll say Twitter's still a thing in 2050.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. Isn't Victoria Highland the person doing it?
Yeah, the executive, I believe, or something like that.
That's such an interesting choice because I guarantee you she probably heard about this game like 2 days ago. So,
You never know.
Where's the MOPOP, I think? Maybe I stop by. Maybe I just pop up, be like, yo, let me maybe get an inside scoop,
Pop up
stream
at
tomorrow.
the MOPOP.
Pop up at the MOPOP. Bruh, you're mine? You're mine. I knew I made the right choice today coming here.
Yeah, and Joe hands you your iced macchiato and says, all right, go brag to my brother. Can't wait to see his little smug face frown.
I can't believe you guys didn't use the joke, cup of Joe.
It's not too late.
You could have, it was right there.
But it wasn't like a cup of Joe. She got an iced macchiato. So
Joe's Joe. I got an iced macchiato. It wasn't even a cup of Joe.
But why wasn't the place called Cup of Joe?
It was called Joe's Joe. I like the name of the place. That was great.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Mauve comes up with a Sharpie and writes Cup of Joe.
Right? Yeah. As Noor is leaving the coffee shop with coffee in hand to go brag over at Parker's Perkers, she does have to cross the boundary to this Thai place, and by this point you all have made your way and that direction is not too far down from the museum. Mauve is taking their lunch break. Guy is still bantering on about the MOPOP Museum and the PR gig going on. Fable, you're like, you're paying. I'm telling you, you're paying. And you're kind of like all like fumbling along on the sidewalk as Noor steps out of Joe's Joe.
I think Guy would clock Noor immediately and like just to stop talking like in like mid-sentence. And that's why it couldn't be aliens, because where do I know you?
I don't even think Noor. How obvious do you make it that you're talking to Noor right now?
He points directly at you and stands in your way.
Probably the internet. It's where a lot of people know a lot of people.
Right. So you do.
Yeah. No, you've probably seen me on, I don't know, a few billboards on television before.
I don't know, that seems suspicious. You sure you're not following me? Or you sure I'm not following you subconsciously?
I really can't answer for you. That kind of goes outside of my boundaries of understanding you as a person, but I can almost guarantee I've never seen you before in my life.
I've seen you. You're Noor.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, you would be right. I mean, yeah, my name's Noor. You probably, I don't know. I have like a gaming news channel.
Oh no, I don't watch any of your Twitch shit. No, I know you off of Reddit.
Cool, thanks. Love the support.
Probably don't know who I am. I'm Judge Jury on Reddit.
Who? You definitely clocked that name. It's like shit.
We talk about once a month.
Hey, Guy, are you stalking the nice streamer on Reddit? Maybe don't stalk the nice streamer on Reddit.
Well, I wouldn't call it stalking, seeing as this is the first time I've seen her out in the wild.
You usually don't call it stalking.
It's a bad look to call it stalking.
Yeah.
As y'all are having this conversation, she's like scooting around you, Fable, and it's like, I just want to talk to Parker, tell him that he lost. So she's like very casually trying to just like be like, and just go. You're in a city, you're just gonna walk.
Look, I promise I'm not stalking you. What do you know about Carcosa Online?
I mean, it comes out today.
Today?
I know that Nostradamus is an interesting company, and that you should be cautious, but like that's just because the company itself is a little questionable. But what big company isn't, you know?
Right. And so do you think this game is very dangerous, just a little bit dangerous, the most dangerous? What level of dangerous is this game?
Probably. I mean, how dangerous can a game like really be, though? You know?
It could drain all the blood out of your eyes if it's a VR experience. I've seen that done.
Are you okay?
I am so sorry for my friend here. Well, that's using it lightly. Is there any way we could, well, you already have a coffee. We can't buy that for you. Let me treat you to some Thai food.
And also me to some Thai food. Yes.
Oh, yes, I know. I'm already buying for all of us.
Like triple tofu on mine, yeah.
Yes, I know.
I will never pass up an offer. Free Thai food. Just give me 2 seconds to walk into this other coffee shop.
Oh, for sure.
Really quickly, she just goes in.
There's like classical music, ambiance. The chairs are a lot fancier. They're not like the little like comfy love seat chairs. They're like tall bar stools and things like that.
Parker, like around.
Parker is just like behind the barista station and is just like cleaning off some espresso ware and stuff like that.
She like pops in, holds up the cup of coffee, and is just like, "You lost today."
Parker just slowly meets your gaze and goes, "Oh, boo."
And then she just walks out and is like, "Have a nice day, Parker."
Goodbye,
and like walks back out and is like,
next time.
And is like definitely clocking. I was like, she hears. She doesn't know she doesn't know like the random person who's like, "I'm not your stalker," but she definitely heard that like Reddit name and was like clocked it, like, "Oh shit, like that, I know that, but why does that person know me?" And is like doesn't understand how that connection happened. Yeah, she's like, "Oh Lord."
At this point, Guy realizes that he's made a bad first impression, so he's standing a good 20 feet away on the other side of the road, like smoking cigarettes over and over, trying to decide what the best next step is in this social situation, and doing a real bad job while the others are ordering Thai food.
Hey, so Guy is
character,
an acquired taste, but as far as I can tell, he's actually, well, a nice guy. However, did you just walk into that coffee shop to mock the person who owns the coffee shop?
Yeah, there's a store. They're brothers. These two, they're like brothers. Like Parker and Joe are brothers. It's this thing. I always choose which one to get coffee from, and if you know, it's a thing. I'm not just intentionally making fun of. Well, I am intentionally making fun of them, but it's playful banter.
Okay. All right. Well,
so I did go in and insult him, though. Yes.
So here's the thing about Guy. He's a very nice guy, and doesn't mean any harm.
His name is Guy.
His name is Guy, and as far as I can tell, he's never hurt anyone that I know about, although I don't know. I've never seen him hurt anyone, but he is very likely to think you are 2 crocodiles in a trench coat. Anyone is 2 crocodiles in a trench coat at any given time, so you just gotta kind of roll with it.
Sure, I've had weirder conversations on stream. Sure. Okay. He's like definitely just like sipping her coffee. She's like already halfway done with it. It's been about 4 minutes. A large coffee.
As you all are discussing whether or not Noor will be okay with having, Guy around, or trying to like pinpoint where you know that name from, right? And eventually Guy scoots his way back in. Everyone's like, "Come on, Guy. Listen, it was a misunderstanding. It's all good." You all sit down around a nice, large round table. You get your Thai food. You're going to sit and eat it in so you all can continue to talk and maybe get to know Noor a little bit better and kind of start over again. And most restaurants these days do have TVs in them of some sort and, keep television going. Much to Guy's dismay, I would imagine. Pretty much anywhere you go, there's some form of media, streaming, electronics, you name it. And you see a little bit different from what you have been seeing for the rest of the day for the Carcosa Online advertisements. it's the general one that's been going, and then there's a brief interruption. And they're like, and now, from one of our favorite streamers, and Noor, you would know the streamer. This streamer is extremely well known. They are sponsored. They have one of the highest follower and sub counts on the streaming platform, all that good stuff. And Smiley pops up. And they are known for their very notable smile, needless to say. So that's kind of where they got their nickname from. And they kind of make it part of their brand. They roll with it. When they first started out, everyone kind of made fun of them because they're always cheesing. But that's just kind of how they are. They've got curly, light blonde hair. They use she, they pronouns. And then they generally wear like comfy, oversized sweaters, that sort of thing. And it looks like Carcosa Online has set up kind of like some sort of like sponsored deal with Smiley to advertise the game. And the channels that are running the ads for Carcosa Online actually are live streaming Smiley's live stream as part of the advertisement reel. So you all are staring at the screen while you're eating your Thai food and catching up or getting to know one another a little bit better for Noor's case. And Smiley goes, all right, well, today's the day. Carcosa Online is here. I am so excited. You all get the full experience. I'm going to unbox the VR headset, and I've got 2 cameras set up so that way you all can see me in the game and also me in the game. Ha! They're unboxing the virtual headset, and it looks a little bit different than it was originally advertised. And a lot of the initial advertisements, it just looked like your classic VR headset. But the one that they pull out looks a little bit more high tech than anticipated. There's some like little extra wires, things like that. The visor looks like it got upgraded. And she's like, oh, well, this is certainly interesting. I do remember that the initial images they showed us of the VR headsets looked just a tad bit different than this. But hey, I'm not opposed. It looks cooler. And we're all about cool in these parts. Keeping it cool.
Noor rolls her eyes at that. This is like, oh my god, Smiley, please. Like also cheesing, but is like, what the fuck? Like, stop.
Yeah. Fuck. Smiley is like, all right, well, we're gonna delve into the game. I'm gonna put on the headset and I will be vibing in here for a while. So I'm not sure how the chat feature and stuff will work or if it'll work. I tried to get it all set up, but we will see, and I will see you seeing me. Okay, here I go. And Smiley puts on the headset, and you see the glowing illuminate from the VR headset, because there's the image of them up on the stream, but also the game is pulled up, right? The game is being broadcasted as they step into the game. And it's booting up. There's a light glow. The ambience in the room is nice. It's still pretty early in the day, but she has her blinds kind of pulled too, so it's not too bright in there. If you all would make a spot hidden.
I got a 8 and a 7.
87?
I failed.
No worries.
Magically.
I rolled a 43 and my 65.
I rolled a 20 and mine's 40.
Yeah, so mine is a 35 on there, so that's much higher. Major fail.
So, Guy and Fable, you all are sitting around this table. Noor and Mauve, to you, idly watching this like kind of sponsored stream that's popped up for you all. And you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You're just like, okay. Noor's interested because Noor's familiar with Smiley, and Mauve, I imagine you're tired of hearing about this game at this point.
Yeah, I'm just like, how old is this person? They talk like they're 10.
But for Fable and Guy, you see the way that the stream setup is. It's very hard to see. Probably normally wouldn't really see much of the background, but because of this new setup that Smiley has made so people can watch both the game and herself streaming, you can kind of see the background of the bedroom that Smiley is streaming in. the closet is just slightly ajar, and you see what you think is fingers kind of holding the closet ajar and a face with a pale mask peeking through the crack in the spot where it's ajar. Long, flowy robes as Smiley has slipped on this VR headset and started up Carcosa Online.